she never left that house. They say some places carry a kind of weight, not the kind you can see, but one you feel deep in your bones, like the air itself is watching you. And in the quiet hills of Robertson County, Tennessee, there's a story that refuses to die. A story that crawled out of the dark woods over 200 years ago and never truly left. This is the Bell Witch Haunting, and it begins with a family just trying to live an honest life. In 1804, John Bell moved his wife Lucy and their children to a peaceful stretch of farmland near the Red River. The land was fertile, the house was solid, and for a time, life was good. John was a respected man in the community, a deacon in the local church, a man of God. But out there, tucked between the trees and rolling fields, something else was watching. It started small. Knocks on the walls late at night. Footsteps in the hallway when everyone was asleep. They'd get up to check, thinking maybe it was the wind or an animal, but nothing was ever there. Then the sounds got louder. Claws scratching at the floors. Heavy thuds that shook the furniture. Whispers behind doors that should have been empty. And then it touched them. Blankets were ripped from their beds in the dead of night. Hair pulled by invisible hands. Young Betsy Bell, John's daughter, seemed to suffer the worst. Red handprints would appear on her cheeks, bruises on her arms. She'd cry out, begging for it to stop, but whatever it was, it didn't listen. The Bell family tried to keep quiet. Who could they tell, really? Who would believe them? But soon the neighbors started noticing things too. Guests to the Bell home would hear voices, laughing, whispering, mocking them by name. One visitor even claimed he was slapped across the face by something he couldn't see. The more attention the spirit got, the stronger it became. It started speaking in full sentences, clear as day, like someone standing in the room with them. It called itself Kate, though no one knew why. It recited Bible verses, it predicted visitors, it argued theology with local preachers, and it made it very clear it hated John Bell. Word spread fast. Folks traveled from counties away just to see the haunted Bell farm. Some came with holy books, others with torches. Some thought they'd help, others just wanted a show. But most of them left scared out of their minds. One night, according to legend, a very special visitor arrived, none other than General Andrew Jackson. Yeah, the future President of the United States. He'd heard the rumors and wanted to see for himself. He brought a small group of men, armed and skeptical, laughing at the idea of a ghost. But when they got close to the property, their wagon suddenly froze. The wheels locked tight, as if held by an invisible hand. Jackson supposedly said, "By the eternal boys, it is the witch." Suddenly, one of his men began screaming. He claimed he was being whipped and thrown by something unseen. Jackson and his men didn't stick around much longer. By this time, the Bell family was exhausted. The torment wasn't just physical anymore, it was mental. The constant fear, the ridicule from townsfolk, the feeling of being trapped in your own home, it wore them down. And yet, there was something even more sinister building, something personal. The spirit's hatred for John Bell grew more intense by the day. It cursed him when he walked, mocked him when he prayed, and vowed to end him. His health began to decline. His speech slurred. His hands shook. Doctors were baffled. Meanwhile, Betsy Bell had her own nightmare. She was engaged to a young man named Joshua Gardner. a boy she loved. But the spirit wouldn't allow it. Every time they met, the spirit lashed out. Betsy was slapped, screamed at, and threatened. Eventually, she broke off the engagement, terrified of what might happen if she didn't. And just like that, the entity quieted. For a moment, things almost seemed normal. But it wouldn't last. The spirit had made a promise, and it was time to keep it. "I'll kill John Bell," it said. "He is mine." And then one cold morning in December of 1820, John Bell was found in his bed, barely breathing. On the table next to him sat a small vial of dark liquid, poison. No one knew where it came from. When a family member offered it to the cat as a test, the animal died instantly. The voice returned, laughing, claiming responsibility. "I gave him that poison," it said. "He's done for." John Bell died later that day. The witch's mission was complete. But this isn't where the story ends. If anything, it's just the halfway point. At John Bell's funeral, the spirit didn't mourn. It sang, loud mocking hymns that echoed through the churchyard. People stood frozen, terrified and powerless. What kind of force not only kills, but celebrates it? After John's death, the activity faded. Betsy would eventually marry someone else and move away. The family tried to rebuild what little piece they could, but the land itself never forgot. Years later, the spirit would speak again. It said it would return in exactly 107 years. That promise, too, still lingers in the wind. They call it one of the most well-documented hauntings in American history. But the thing is, none of the records really explain what it was. A demon? A poltergeist? A vengeful spirit? Or something else entirely? People still visit the Bell Witch Cave today. Some say they hear whispers. Others claim their equipment fails the second they step inside. A few never speak of what they saw. But whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing's for sure. Something happened in that house by the Red River. And whatever it was, it left a scar that time just can't heal. Because some stories aren't stories at all. They're warnings. And the Bell Witch? She's just waiting for someone to forget that.